NFL on EA Sports. Both defenses will have to be on the watch for a pair of tight ends looking to find seams in the secondary. It's the Buccaneers going up against the Ravens. With that, we'll send you up to Baltimore, as standing by at M&T Bank Stadium are the two men who'll call the action. That's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And it's a short kick, taken right around the 19. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. On first down, Flacco. And Aiken with it over the middle. Sheds a second man.
He's building up some momentum, isn't he?
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Flacco from midfield. Finding time. And able to find Aiken complete. And he's brought down. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there if he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. And on 2nd and 10 now. Flacco to throw again on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. It's an 8-yard pickup, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
Looking for 2 yards here on 3rd down. Flacco. And this is going to be incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target. And it'll be 4th down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And it appears they'll go for it here on 4th down. A big call on the game's opening drive. They'll run for it. Full set. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Well, trying to be bold on the opening drive of the game, but that effort, it proves futile.
How many times have we talked with coaches where they've talked about taking the emotion out of their decision-making? I think that opening drive, if he didn't have it in his head to go for it before, I think that keyed into it. They were doing so well, and he decided to really establish something there. They didn't get it. Now they've got to make sure that they don't lose their focus.
And that man, Doug Martin, did not see any action in week 2 of the preseason because they're being really careful with his rib injury, aren't they?
They should be, because when you have hurt ribs, I don't care if they're bruised, cracked, whatever they are, everything about you hurts. I just talked about this with one of the Tennessee Titans. He said, man, when you have bruised ribs, you can't even sleep.
Yeah, well, they did say likely to see Doug Martin before the preseason is over. Jameis to throw it. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I'm not sure we can spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And here's a very low-line drive, almost whiffed on it. Now Campanaro. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Ravens, they'll take over. We get a glance at the Buccaneer defense as they file into position, and an important stop in a tight game their last time.
Always important to stop them. We know that. But as you noted, in a tight game, so much more critical to get it done, and that's exactly what they did.
And they'll be trying to do that once more here. We'll see who wins the battle. A running play now for 4th down. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Again, they run. Again, it's 4th down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Flacco looks to throw. Over the middle to Smith. Again with a juke. A second juke. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody who has that ability, they want them on their team.
So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football, and they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They look to throw on 1st and 10 with Flacco. And Watson has it right side. Wow, incredible.
Miss.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. Once more, it's Flacco. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
My high school coach, John Ford, used to say all the time, if you're in a bad situation, laddie, don't compound it with a bad decision as well. And I think that's what we just saw there. Harassed in the pocket, and he throws into double coverage anyway.
He called you laddie?
He called me laddie, and that was the nicest thing he called me.
And it's 3rd down and goal from the 4. Here's Allen. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. Can this defense hold him out? Here we go now. 4th and goal from the 2. They'll run for it. This is Allen. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I don't want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
Back to the ground. This time it's Martin. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you've got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments would the offense make to try to defeat you?
Here's Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. The target that time was Vincent Jackson. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
Yeah, a simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time. But you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence. Not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Second and 10. Flacco once more. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Two minutes remain in a scoreless first half. We're back to Baltimore after this. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with Larry Ridley for highlights and analysis of our first half of play. Not too many highlights yet, at least in terms of scoring plays, that is.
Yeah, but hang in there. We might get something in these last 2 minutes.
Catch left side here by Aiken. And he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. They're going to hurry back to the line now. First and 10 here for Flacco. And Watson has it right side. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. On first down, this is Forsett. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
Flacco here on second down. Flushed out right. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
And here comes play number 6 on this drive. A red zone first down for Flacco. And hauled in by Pitta. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Their big tight end, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front. And now, see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this second quarter. Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A chance for us to look at this Baltimore defense again. They were able to force the 3-and-out last time, led to the punt, and then led to a touchdown for their crew. So they'll be looking for a little bit more of that, Charles.
Well, I think that they created the spark with the 3-and-out. Gave a little momentum to their offense.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now Jameis on second down. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Winston on 3rd and 2. He's got Evans. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Smith catches left side. What's that? Now? Oh, we're back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show, I guess. We're ready for the third quarter.